Hello, a very good evening and welcome to this special program where we shall be looking at the National Court Open Day that is due to be held very soon. I have guests who will be taking us through exactly when, the what, and the how. But before I introduce my guests for this special broadcast, let me first give you a preamble about the judicial sector as the other arm of government. The mandate of the judiciary to adjudicate cases of civil and criminal nature is well written in the Constitution, and Article 126(1) of the 1995 Constitution of the Republic of Uganda provides that the judicial power is derived from the people and shall be exercised by the courts established under the Constitution in the name of the people and in conformity with the law, values, norms and aspirations of the people. Judiciary is now making deliberate effort to strengthen accountability, scale up stakeholder engagements, sensitize court users and obtain critical feedback on services provided by the judiciary across the country. I'm now joined by the Public Relations Officer at the judiciary, who will be joined by other guests as we try to thresh out the detail and what this National Court Open Day means for us. Mr. James Eremye Jumire Mawanda, the Public Relations Officer, many thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
I'm also joined on his immediate left by Mary Kisache Kaitesi. She's a Registrar, Planning and Development, and Secretary of the National Organizing Committee of the National Court Open Day. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And on Madame Kaitesi's left is Faizo Mularira, a Deputy Registrar at the Judicial Training Institute. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us this afternoon.
You're most welcome, gentlemen and lady. Let me begin straight away with Mr. Eremye, who is the Public Relations Officer at the Judiciary, to take us through what the National Court Open Day is and what has necessitated this kind of development.
Thank you very much for hosting us, and I would like to thank our viewers for joining us this afternoon to this edition of our quest to enhancing public accountability. Okay. On the 15th of April, that is on Monday next week, the judiciary is going to have a National Court Open Day where we are inviting the public and all stakeholders and all users, court users, to come and share with us into this very wonderful engagement. And this engagement is to try as much as possible to demystify the institution to the public and also to bring the public closer to the people, to understanding the processes that involve in the courts. Many people don't understand these things. So we have this time around targeting the Supreme Court of Uganda, the Court of Appeal of Uganda, and the divisions of the High Court within Kampala. In addition, we are also going to have other registries that complement into that wonderful job, the Registry of Inspectorate of Courts. We have also now the Judicial Training Institute, where my brother Faizo comes from. And then we have also brought on board all the Chief Magistrates Courts within Kampala, because they feed those high courts, and the high courts feed the Court of Appeal, and the Court of Appeal the Supreme Court. Nationally, these activities have been going on in the countryside, in the circuits and in the magistrates' courts. But this time round, Kampala has taken the center stage in organizing the national event. All right. So we are here to ensure that we rally the public, we inform them of the day, we tell them that we want to interface with them. We have so many activities that will take place. That's right. Especially we are going to have activities like we are going to sensitize the public on court processes. We are going to make some demonstrations to them as how some of these processes work. We want them after to give us feedback, on how they perceive service. You know, our theme for this national event is a people-centered approach to justice. We want to understand what the people want, so that we can be able to tailor service delivery. Customize service delivery. And we can only do that through when we have these kind of engagements. At the end of the day, we shall have now this interaction with the different stakeholders. And above all, I want them to know we have exhibitions. All of these players and actors in the justice chain are going to exhibit a lot of things, exhibit their processes, their services, so that the public can understand who plays which role in the justice chain. So that at the end of the day, we want them to be empowered. We want them to understand how and when and why is A, B, C, D done. And what is their critical role.
Okay. That is great. The why, the how, and the when is pretty much very important, and later we shall be talking about that. But allow me ask the National Secretary, the National Organizing Committee, when you were crafting the National Court Open Day, I know Mr. Remy has just spoken about the fact that many other engagements have been going on across the country, described as circuits, but Kampala has taken the center stage. Does that mean there have been long-standing challenges within either Kampala or central Uganda when it comes to people's understanding of issues regarding the judiciary or court processes? What really informed the fact that Kampala should hold the National Court Open Day and not Butaleja, for example?
Thank you. Thank you for that question. As the PRO has just said, we've been holding these open days.
That's right.
Up country. Now, you know how you start from out and then you come and round it off from the center.
This is the climax.
This is now the climax, where the Chief Justice is the guest of honor and all courts are involved. And now also we are looking at it at the national level in the sense that when it's up country, it is the up country stations that even the ones exhibiting right now, they are at the center. Okay. This is where the Supreme Court is based, the Court of Appeal, then the divisions as they are. So we've not held National Court Open Days for just one Supreme Court, just Court of Appeal, but rather it's going to be for every court that is within metropolitan, if I can say, with of course inclusive of Mukono. You will say Mukono is not, it's a circuit, but it's because it's near Kampala. It doesn't mean that Mukono will never have its own Court Open Day, no. But because we are now looking at a central, like the way we've said, it's a people-centered approach. That's our theme this year, basically, as judiciary. It's not only for the National Court Open Day, it's for the whole judiciary. Every year we have a theme that guides our services. So what are we trying to say? They've gone through the circuits, they've gone through the courts up country and all that. Now they need to know. Now when I come to Kampala, how are the systems working? Are they the same as up country? Or there are some unique challenges, there are some unique features within the Kampala? Basically, it's just rounding off the whole, but it doesn't mean that it's the end. Okay. Yes.
It's an ongoing process.
It's an ongoing process.
Okay. Mr. Faizo Mularira from the Judicial Training Institute. Just hearing the word Judicial Training Institute tells us that perhaps you're going to be availing some opportunities to train some officers, or so to speak, or giving the average Ugandan an opportunity to understand, can they undertake studies, for example, in judicial, we normally say law, but it's a lot more comprehensive than simply studying law. Is that something I can look forward to during the Open Court Day?
Thank you so much, our host for this afternoon. As you are aware, the judiciary is now undertaking a process of building partnerships. And we are building strategic partnerships with mostly the court users, but also the justice actors. The delivery of justice is not a one-off mandate of one institution. It is a conveyance belt that undertakes a multi-stakeholder approach with different key roles and responsibilities. So the mandate of the Judicial Training Institute is to provide specialized training to people that have been chosen or appointed to ascend to the bench. In exercising this, we must have a needs assessment that helps us to design specific training that meets the needs of our end users.
Okay.
So we are coming to the court open day to understand. Remember, these people prior to their being appointed, they are trained as adversarial actors at the Road Development Center and in the law schools. So now we have to mold them to become adjudicators. In the course of doing this, we've found over time that many times, because of lack of appreciation, not understanding per se, appreciation of the processes of court, and also the nature of the distance between the court user and the justice actors, has necessitated that we now come together under one roof, talk about issues that present opportunities. We might use let's say, the strength, weakness, opportunities, and the threats.
That's right.
And with design ways that would re-engineer the administration of justice that is designed to meet the needs of the people of Uganda, as opposed to what maybe we could have been doing because it's an inherited practice that does not speak so well to the unique needs of the Ugandans. So therefore, Kampala being a cosmopolitan area with residents, many of them do not work from Kampala. They work from Kampala, but they do not per se reside in Kampala. And they are the majority of the traders who have got commercial disputes. They are the majority of the people who have been robbed on the way with off their personal properties on the way from work to home or home to work. They are the people that have been facing all these sorts of, let's say, human rights abuses. Now, in order to have a scorecard of how we are performing, we want to come together with our stakeholders in one roof. We exhibit what we do. We get feedback from how we've been doing it from them. They give us, they understand our processes and also try to understand them. For example, we would say, what are the factors inhibiting expectant mothers from coming to the courts or the elderly? You will see that these ones we can discuss them when we take them through the re-engineered processes that we've put in place to see that we bring on board all the unique stakeholders or court users, but also we must appreciate that they also are key integral players in our processes, and they must give us feedback, score us, and we build strategic partnership with our users.
Okay.
That's the purpose of the National Court Open Day, in which we are running a people-centered approach to justice. That people of Uganda.
The Ugandans themselves.
Yes, the Ugandans we are striving to serve.
Yeah, no doubt anyone would appreciate that, the fact that people-centered approaches do speak to the needs and the aspirations of the population. Allow me go into the nitty-gritty of the organization of the National Court Open Day. I know exhibitions, we've been to exhibitions very often. I don't know whether these exhibitions will have an interface, very close interface with the judges. You know, many times when they are putting on the robes and the garb, they are feared, and you know, somebody says, oh my God, here I am, my fate is now done. When interacting with them, shall it be casual, or it's a case of they are seated at the other end, microphones at this side, ask your questions and then get feedback? How is it going to be done?
I'm happy that you have actually said it, because one of the biggest problems is the phobia, the fear phobia.
Okay.
We have realized that our people, the mere mention of court sends chills down their spines.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
And we also know that that is an impediment to access to justice, just that kind of fear.
That's right.
So we want to assure our viewers and the general public that the mode of the open day, as it has been elsewhere, is we don't have those robes, we shall be dressed down, and we are ordinary Ugandans. We are ordinary Ugandans. There is no court which is going to take place in Kololo.
Okay.
No. It's the institution calling upon its the people who we are supposed to be servants to come, and we interact. So we are dressing down. You may not see any robes, but the judges are going to interact with you.
That's right.
In the different stalls, you will find persons responsible to attend to you, to give you the information you need, to give you the answers you want to raise, etc. So,
okay.
yes,
I'll be asking some of those questions on the show, 2 or 3, so that we get a sample of how they could be answered by some of the judges. There are people out there who have very pertinent questions to push to some of the judicial officers and actors. But in terms of organization, Madam Chisache, we are going to be at Kololo?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the Independence Grounds. So what time does the day begin, the exhibitions? Who is supposed to appear? Are they supposed to go through any kind of verification at any one point, or any Ugandan who is on their way either to work can change their mind and say, let me get this information before I can proceed?
Thank you. Basically, the fact that it's a National Court Open Day, what does it mean? The courts are open to the public. Anybody. You will even reach a judicial officer, a judge that you had never imagined you would reach and talk to and shake hands. That's how open it's going to be. We are not even going to be robed or dressed in suits.
That's right.
We are going to really dress down. So what does it mean? Whether you're passing or you just hear and say, let me pass here and see what is happening, it is free to the public. And then when you look at the exhibitors who are going to be there are all key justice stakeholders. So you'll find the DPP's stall there with her seated there and her staff. So if you have issues concerning the DPP's office, she'll be there to handle those issues there and then. If you have issues in the land division, you're going to find the head of land division, the deputy, and the judges of the land division seated in their small stall. So you're able now to interact with them face to face. So it's more of, I won't call it giving back, but remember we administer justice on behalf of the people. It's the mandate that the people have given us. So we expect the public to come in big numbers and be there by 8. The stalls, the exhibition starts at exactly 8:30, so that we are able to view the stalls, to visit the stalls. Even URA is going to be there, you know. URA is going to be there.
It's in the eye of the storm.
IGG is going to be there. Judicial Service Commission is going to be there. In the event the public actually think that the judges who are in place right now have some issues, or they think they are not the ones who should have been in office, that is a moment, because they will be seated there to listen to you. So from 9, we will have, from 8, we will be assembling at the grounds. Anyone who is passing by, anyone who just wants to come and pick something, there will be leaflets, there will be information, a lot of information that will be given out.
That's right.
That the public can refer to at a later stage, not necessarily on that day. Now, we are not saying that we are calling on complaints. No, not only complaints. Other people may have compliments.
That's right.
Other people may want to just be inspired to be who they are. You remember at one time a little girl who met the Chief Justice and was like, I didn't know that I would ever, and I also want to become a Chief Justice.
That's right.
So that's the moment for us to interact. So we'll have arrival of guests at around 9, because we have other invited guests in the ministries and other departments. And then we will definitely have welcoming remarks by the organizing committee chairperson, who happens to be our principal judge. He's the chairperson. Then we'll have a few remarks from the justice institutions. We are looking at Uganda Law Society. These are our stakeholders. We are looking at DPP, Director of Public Prosecutions. Then we are looking at the community. Yeah. So we shall have someone to speak about the civil society organizations that interact mainly with our community. They are more on the ground than some of us. And of course, as I told you, the chief guest is the Chief Justice, because this is his event. And that is a moment. Basically, we are going to talk less and listen more. That is what we intend to do.
Okay.
Because we talk a lot, we write a lot, we make decisions, and then you only communicate to the public, this is what I've decided. Now we want the public to be the one to talk, and then also decide.
Yeah, it's important to go through a judge's mind, how he quickly figures out things and then tells you, can you give me 2 weeks, 3 weeks, so I can come up with a judgment?
Yeah, there is a very important point my sister Mary has made.
Okay, quickly supplement
about
that.
The public coming to raise issues, to tell us how they are receiving the service, negatively or otherwise. But also, we want to actually emphasize, if you know there's something good you have experienced with us, you come. I have seen in social media some social media posts running around that people are always saying, come and make complaints against judges. I think I will not mention the media house which has done that, but that is probably a way of reporting. We are saying the public come, interface with the judges, justice actors, and if there are any issues, which issues will help us improve service delivery.
Ideally, I would say,
and even if it's a complaint anyway, we have inspectorate which is going to be there.
You can seek clarification on a complaint.
Yes,
no doubt about
clarifications. JSC, like she has mentioned, will be there. So everything positive, and even complaints, if any, and you feel you need to be attended to, we shall attend to you.
All right, we do hope, of course, there will be comfortable interaction. Ugandans?
Very much, we can assure you, because we have done it elsewhere, and why not in the metropolitan city? All
right, so gentlemen, it's about time that we take a break, but when we return, this conversation will continue, and we shall go a little bit deeper into what this particular initiative intends to achieve at the end of the day when it comes to how and the what of dispensation of justice. And then the Judicial Training Institute, there's a lot more that we need to understand in its workings and how it's being crafted into this. Do stay with us. You're watching a special broadcast where we are talking about the National Court Open Day that is due on the 15th of April. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're glad you're still with us here on a special broadcast where we are talking about the National Court Open Day that is due to be held on the 15th of April. That will be Monday next week. I have guests in the studio who are helping us understand the why, the how, and the what of this particular day, and the fact that it is being people-centered, an opportunity to help the public understand the workings and the processes of courts across the country. I have with me the Public Relations Officer at the Judiciary, Mr. Eremie Jumire Mawanda. I also have with me Mary Kisache Kaitesi. She's a Registrar, Planning and Development, and also the Secretary to the National Organizing Committee of the day. And on her left is Faizo Mulalira, Deputy Registrar at the Judicial Training Institute. Allow me to begin this segment with Madame Mary Kisache Kaitesi on what this particular initiative intends to achieve. I know you've sat down and told yourselves as judicial officers and as a sector that there's a lot that you need to do in terms of enhancing your own image within the eyes of the people. There's also aspects including building trust between you and those who are at the receiving end of the dispensation of justice. But there's a Ugandan out there who is going to ask the critical question. After all this is done, what will happen? Will the issues that will be raised by the multiplicity of people who will come and talk and ask questions, will they be attended to? And if they will, how will that roll out? How will somebody know that on the National Court Open Day, we said this within the judiciary is not right, and somehow 3 months down the road, we are seeing a change? How is that going to happen?
Thank you. when the whole idea was being crafted, that we've had court open days up country everywhere, but how about a national one that gives it a national perspective, looking at different other courts? The belief was, let's say in up country, the public is understanding the processes.
That's right.
What about the ones in Kampala, the ones in the metropolitan? Now, the moment they also understand the court processes, you will find that actually instead of going to the media to complain about a process, I should go on appeal. So those are the processes we want to demystify and inform the public more that this is what you should expect of us. And also remember, a service is a two-way. Because I will give you a service, but also the way you receive it and the way you respond is another issue. That's right. So we strongly believe that the moment the public understands the court processes and they feel they are not suffocated or let down by their own judiciary, it will inevitably improve the image of judiciary and how people look at us. And people will freely now be able to move to the court. Now, what is going to happen is, yes, complaints will be raised, issues will be raised. Those that can be given an answer to there and then, you will receive an answer. However, we'll also have feedback forms where you register your issue with a contact so that we are able, even after that day, the moment your issue is handled, we will give you a call. We will get back to you. That is what is going, yes, we will get back to you. Because that's why we are all assigning ourselves to give our whole to this day so that it does not only stop at being seen at Kololo. No, we should be able to give feedback. So that is basically, in a nutshell, that's what it is. Okay. So don't think that when you bring a complaint or you bring an issue, it will be undermined. No. We have a complaints handling stall. Fine, you will go there and make your complaint there. But however, even the forms, we are going to be giving everyone who moves in, we give the form. So when you fill it, you will find judicial officers who are wearing official tags. So when you filled it in, don't mind whom you give it to. We shall collect all that information. We go back and now we look at it and we say, if James is complaining about a land matter, it means this is for land division. If this one is like this, it means this is for family division, this is for this division. So that now those divisions are able to look into your matter. If it's a file, they will look through the file and give feedback. So that is what we are trying to do here. Okay. Yes.
Faizo Mlarira, the aspects that rotate around case load management. I don't know whether that is something that you are of course, by the time you came to the show, no doubt about it. Case load management has been a long-standing challenge, and I'm sure there are a series of strategies that have been rolled out. I do not know whether you'll be sharing that, and if you do share and there is a disagreement, for example, on the how, will you allow for what the people suggest?
Certainly, yes. When you decide to call on stakeholders to hear from them, you must be able to give a listening ear.
That's right.
Now, the case backlog is a problem that we have been having, but sooner than later it is likely to become a myth or a history because of the new re-engineered strategies that the judiciary is trying to roll out.
That's right.
For starters, having cases exhibits the public trust the court users have got in the judicial system. That's why they keep filing these cases. But in the past, we've been confronted with the issue of lack of staff, which has now slightly dwindled down by the massive recruitment that the judiciary has undergone under its national strategic framework number 4, where they've been able to recruit various cadres of judicial officers at the various courts, and even the courts where we lost some of our judicial officers that died, we've been able to have them replaced through appointments by the appointing authority. The footprint of the judiciary has also tremendously improved by creating more court circuits from 20 to now 38 across the country, and also making each constituency to now have at least a chief magistrate's court. No, a grade 1 magistrate, and each district to have a chief magistrate's court. You'll find that this will lessen on the distances that the people have been moving to come to access the courts from the villages or from the faraway courthouses. With the rollout of ICMIS that is now aiding electronic appearances, we are trying to move away from the brick and mortar courtrooms to virtual courts. This has improved tremendously the works of the courts, especially in areas that have stable internet usage and penetration. We are cognizant that some areas do not have internet stability, so we are still operating the other system, but where we have internet stability, and we've been training our court officers and users in the use of ICMIS, this is going out. For claims below 10 million, we've rolled out a small claims procedure, especially in magistrates court. This one is commenced by merely filling out a form. You don't need to have an advocate to represent you, and we are trying to do away with all these delays that are associated with advocates taking on multiple cases and seeking unnecessary adjournments. We have also re-emphasized court annexed mediation in both appellant courts and in the trial courts. This has seen a speedy disposal of cases that had stayed so longer when we emphasize the win-win situation, as opposed to one person taking it all, when you only subject the decision to be made by an adjudicator. All these innovations, we are going to have a role play about them, we are going to exhibit them, we are going to share a lot of literature, printed literature, and demonstrations by the respective actors in these innovations, so that when our people go back home, they take time and reflect that if I'm to enter the judicial system now, this is the path I take, and once I take this path, my entry point is here, and I'm exiting at the other point. So we are going to have certainty, because people will now have a clear understanding of our court processes and practices, and also they will be able to give us feedback, and they will also be able to assess and score and know that here things didn't go well because we missed this step, or the judicial officers missed this step. Then they are quick to point out those issues, and rectification can be undertaken in a timely manner before injury or delays.
Okay. Wow, that's very interesting. Now, this particular innovation follows a series of other initiatives that the judiciary has undertaken to make things easier, especially when it comes to the public's understanding of how the dispensation of justice is achieved. Do we expect those who can't make it to Kololo to join online? Would there be that option? Or how?
Yes, the judicial has gone the judicial has gone
okay.
And we are having several platforms, our social platforms. We run a social media platform on WhatsApp, Twitter, formerly X, formerly Twitter, and all these other platforms. We also expect to have national coverage by some of our key strategic partners. I don't know that NTV will forsake us. NTV will be with us.
NTV is at the forefront of ensuring that these
those
issues
that
are amplified.
cannot attend virtually, those that cannot attend physically, can attend virtually, but because we are eager to meet them in person, and the judges headed by the Chief Justice have taken an initiative to meet them physically, we are humbly making an appeal to all of them that can to make it and share in our plight, share in our delight with hosting them, so that we can be able to keep tabs with what we've been doing. Okay.
I'm personally enthralled by the people-centered approach. Any person who is interacting for the very first time or joining us at this particular segment of the program might be thinking, oh, all along it has not been people-centered.
You're right. Has it not been people-centered all along? It has been people-centered. However, because we have done research and we have found out that our people are not informed.
Okay.
We have had to now bring it out to emphasize
Something
that a
tailor-made
people-centered approach to justice and the judiciary are two who are working together.
That's
now
right.
come and partake and see of how people-centered we are, and even help to improve.
Okay.
From the beginning, it has always been people-centered, definitely. Okay? Because otherwise, first of all, the Constitution gives us a mandate to exercise judicial power.
That's right.
On behalf of the people. We are servants of the people. How else can we be other than being people-centered?
All right.
So that's the approach.
Okay.
So let them come and we really engage together.
My next question regards the Global Development Agenda, the Sustainable Development Goal 16, that recognizes the need to build peaceful, just and inclusive societies that provide equal access to justice and strong institutions. The reason I zero in on this is the law is embedded or comes out of what culture is, how people do things, and you know, it's a tenet to that. I'm not a lawyer, neither am I a scholar of law in any form, but I know that norms and cultures do form a critical part of how people in the judicial system think. You must be a tenant to that. And the people who will be convening at the open day come from a vast range of cultures, and they all want to understand the law from within their point of view. Do we have translation? There are people who are going to come from Butaleja. They have trouble with English and he wants a translator. I don't know whether you prepared these ones for them, both in oral and written form.
Actually, the people who are going to come to Kololo, we have provided for translations. We have even gone ahead to appreciate that there are those who need sign language interpretation.
Great.
And we have been lucky to have a sign language interpreter who will be coming to partner with us and give this information. One important critical thing you talked about, cultures, diversities of our people. And not long ago, Uganda hosted the African Chief Justices Forum.
That's right.
On alternative dispute resolution. And one of the engineering my brother Faisal talked about in the judiciary as an intervention to case management, as an intervention to developing coherent institutions and also justice-centered approaches.
That's right.
The Honorable of the Chief Justice, as an ardent advocate of ADR, alternative dispute resolution, has emphasized the need
for adaptation
to re-engineer African dispute resolution mechanisms. And we want to bring our people on board. It is such activities and open days that our people, we want to tell them that let us get back to that other point. People-centered. What happens in Uganda when there are disputes? Must you all run to the Muluka chief? Or you start at home?
Or must we all stop when the king has said, please calm down? You know?
So there are so many issues. But one of these, and I wanted to emphasize this because you talked about the development goals, that alternative dispute resolution, which we are saying is actually the African dispute resolution mechanisms, are very, very important in the justice chain. And if we can bring our people to appreciate it better, to embrace it more, we are reducing on the caseloads. You know, everything is moving one direction. We want to create those diversions. It's one of the re-engineered processes. And we want to emphasize them so that our people enjoy participating. It's more participatory.
Okay.
We would like them to participate more in the administration of justice.
Okay, let's have the Secretary to the National Organizing Committee thresh out the finer detail of what perhaps Chris Higenyi, as an outsider, has forgotten when it comes to what will be required, especially in light of the entire, it will be an entire day, right? Like 8 to 5? Okay, just take us through the program so that Chris knows what time to arrive. I might get there when the Chief Justice has just arrived, and then I steal the show.
No, but it's your day.
Okay.
It's your day.
All right.
It's your day, even if you come when the Chief Justice is already there. It is your day. He's your servant.
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
There you've had it.
Servant.
Yes.
So the arrival time is 8. By that time, the stalls will be set up. So sensitization begins, and the touring of the different stalls.
Yeah.
The stalls, by the way, will be very many, that if you come late,
Hey.
yes, you may miss out on a number of stalls.
Okay.
And we made sure that we also targeted mainly the service providers. People who are serving the public, but the public probably may be having issues with them. I gave you an example of URA, and
That's right.
I remember the other time when we were talking about URA, one of the listeners said, I must attend specifically to address my issue. Actually, the
traders.
Yes, the traders.
Casita. We are calling upon Casita. Please come.
Yeah, because you may be thinking that actually the problem is URA, when the problem is you, or it's us as judiciary.
Yeah.
Now, you will find quite a number of Casita people have cases in the commercial court. They are seated in there, money is locked up in there, but they need to know why is it locked up in there. So the stalls will be many, to the extent that if again you decide to come at midday, you may not benefit from, because you will be going each stall one-on-one.
Very important question to ask.
Yes, very important. And of course, at the end of the day, we shall crown it with a refreshment and discussions. Whereby
light-hearted discussions about justice and law.
About justice.
I hope people don't say words that will slander.
There will be no policeman nearby. There will be no. But for as long as we are behaved.
Okay.
Yes. So we shall have remarks from different people, as I have said. Then we shall have the Q&A, where we are listening to the public and we are talking less.
That is right.
So only the issues that will be addressed, can be addressed there and then, and the solution is found there and then, will be the ones to be addressed. But we are doing more of the listening. We want to know, where are we going wrong, or where are we overperforming? Because we need that also. Yeah, you need to be...
we need to see you overperforming as a nation.
And we are.
We really need to see you overperforming.
And we are, by the way. If you look at our statistics now, we are moving there. It's like a roller coaster, roller coaster. We are moving. So we shall have remarks from our Honorable Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, who happens to be a people person. We believe he is. Then the Chief Justice. And then we shall have, of course, anthems, group photographs. Whoever wants to take a photograph with whoever
those are moments to remember.
Those are the moments to remember.
I was with the Chief Justice.
Yes.
I was with the Principal Judge.
You just say, my Lord, the Chief Justice, can I take a picture with you? And he will do it. He will oblige. That is the moment. Where else will you find that opportunity?
All right. There you have it, a selfie with the Chief Justice, no doubt. It's a good one.
Then departure will be at leisure, because the stall, the visiting of the stalls and the interactions with other stakeholders will continue, will be continuous.
All right, allow me ask Faizo Mlarira to use 40 broadcasting seconds and give us your wrap or closing remarks.
Well, for me, this is a rare opportunity that every court user or any person that intends to use the court or any person out there that is not yet confronted with a problem that would necessitate to go to court would maximally utilize to come and be part of this historical day where we are going to, where the judiciary is coming to the people. And it is coming to the people not to bulldoze them around, but to understand the unique needs of the people, to give us feedback, to strengthen the judiciary that you've been yearning for, to be able to see that you make a contribution to where you want the judiciary to move from where it is, the strategic direction it should take. This is the time for you to encrypt your personal views into the strategic movement of the judiciary, and we call upon everybody to be in Kololo. We are eager to see you, we are eager to meet you. We look forward to having a good time, and we pray that the weather is such that God will destiny to be able to sustain us throughout.
All right, thank you very much, Faizo Mulalira there, Registrar at Training Institute, and Mr. James Eremie Jumire Moanda, you will close this as the Public Relations Officer, Judiciary.
Thank you very much. Our viewers, we bring you our warm greetings from the Judiciary, greeting from the Honorable Chief Justice, who is inviting you and asking you to come. And we have this engagement. It's an engagement for purposes of accountability, for engagement where we want to listen to you, an engagement where you are coming to correct us. We want to say that we cannot be perfect without your input. And at all times, we want to say we shall be coming back to you to give you accountability, to ask for guidance, and these are the opportunities. Even when we are in the circuits and at the lowest courts there, whenever there are court open days, members of the public, please come. We want to understand how are we performing, how best should we perform, and in that end we shall have enhanced and improved service delivery. We are looking forward to seeing you. We want to thank our partners who are coming to exhibit with us. We want to thank you so much for your time you have given us. We want to thank the government of Uganda, and we want also to thank our development partners, UNODC, for the support that they have given us. Everybody, you are most welcome. I will be there. Why not you?
All right, thank you very much. James Eremie Jumire Moanda, Public Relations Officer for the Judiciary, for those closing remarks. Of course, many thanks to you too. Mary Kisache Kaitesi, Secretary to the National Organizing Committee of the National Court Open Day, as well as Faizo Mulalira, Registrar at the Judicial Training Institute. It's been a good conversation, very enlightening, and I hope the audience out there shall be looking forward to the National Court Open Day that is due on the 15th of April. That is Monday at the Kololo Independence Grounds. It's been a pleasure having your company for this special broadcast. I'm out of here. Chris Higgin is my name. Well, have a nice evening.